For fuck's sake. Stupid fucking thing. I can't do anything on here. Why is this thing not working? Oh my god. Wow. I can't even click on this thing. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I swear, man. Always some bullshit every fucking day. Let me see if I need to charge it or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with this thing. Whatever. I can't be bothered to be mad. Hey Tanya, how you doing, sweetheart? You good? My mouse isn't allowing me to click on the chat thing so I can put in my PayPal link, but I really don't give a shit anymore. I'm so fed up. Yeah, it's pouring rain here. Yeah, I can't be bothered, man. It's like there's some crazy shit going on overall, like just weird shit. Yeah, it's been raining for hours here. It's been raining for like at least 7, 8 hours now, straight. The pool's full of water. Well, I just watched my team lose again. So the Celtics lost 2 games in a row, which is not normal. And it's the playoffs, and we lost at home twice. And I couldn't imagine being there and going out there and watching that shit. We lost the first game by 3 points, and tonight we lost by 1 point. I was like, wow. So I'm kind of feeling frustrated because I know, you know, I'm not angry or mad or anything because, sports doesn't affect me like that anymore. It's just frustrating. I feel frustrated for the people, for the fans. I'm frustrated deep down inside, yeah, but I'm just, you know, frustrated for the fans and there's people wasting thousands of dollars to go there to see that trash. I couldn't imagine going there 2 games in a row and watching them lose. I'll be so fucking pissed. See, that's never happened to me when I went out there. I usually get lucky when I go out there. I see wins all the time. I've seen a few losses, but nothing that made me mad. But yeah, that's all. No big deal. I'm not like, it's not the end of the world. But it happens. It's all good. Now they're gonna have a break and then they play again on Saturday. So Saturday is gonna be a big day anyway. Cause my Portuguese team, soccer team, they play Saturday, and if they win the league, they win the title. So it's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna have a crazy Saturday. I'm either gonna be mad as hell or I'm gonna be happy as hell. Well, that's good. Sometimes, you go through these frustration periods at work or with life or with people. You just got to overcome them. That's all. Sometimes you got to go above and beyond to try and, prove to yourself and to others that you're capable of doing something or completing a task or doing something. So it's life. Sometimes it hits you from all angles and you don't know what to do. But the best thing to do is like try not to let it get to you, because people want a reaction. Bad people, they always want a reaction out of you, and you know people just want reactions, period. Even if it's a good reaction, some people want a good reaction too. People are always looking for reactions. So I know I do sometimes. I want to get a reaction too to make sure that everything's okay. But it's the negative reactions that we don't need. That's the whole thing. It's getting rid of the negative reactions. Hey Dan, how you doing, bro? But we'll be all right. It can't always be good, bad, and it can't always be good. Well, even when you feel picked on or you feel like, just know that your turn comes, to get picked on or to get, dealt with or annoyed or whatever the case may be. We all get a turn. Sometimes we have a target on our backs, or it's just the way it is. People just say, let me aggravate you today. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But the main thing is to when we find ourselves in those situations, the main thing is just to make sure you're doing what you have to do. That's it. When you work for somebody, you always have to make sure you do your job and whatever's required of you. If you follow the rules, you do what you have to do, then life should be okay. Things should be fine. You know what I'm saying? I don't know like how people think it otherwise. And then you have to look at if you were the employer or the employee. So if you're the employer, how the hell you want things to be? Okay, I want it to be this way, that way, and I feel it should be that. Well, if you're the employer, what do I want? This and that and that and this. So, I've been in both situations. So it's like I try to look at things both ways. Hey Ann, how you doing, sweetie? Yeah, exactly. Good. Yeah, well that's the thing. A lot of people don't know how to deal with people. They don't know, like, they don't know how to be kind or to be. They only know rough. They only know bad. They only know negative. And that's just the way people are. Like, sometimes you have to just overcome the stupidity from the people around you and just keep doing what you have to do. That's what I tell myself every day. Like, I'm not out to please nobody. Yeah, of course, because every person we deal with and every situation we deal with, and every co-workers, workers, whatever jobs, like there's always going to be animosity, and I always have a saying where I always say you never know what somebody's going through. So you could be working with somebody who just got diagnosed with cancer and they don't want to tell you. You can work with somebody that just got a divorce and they haven't told you yet, and they act like everything's fine and you wouldn't even know. So people have like situations in their own life that sometimes we look at them and be like, why this person so grumpy? Like, what the hell's wrong with this person? They ain't gonna tell you because it's none of your business, first of all. And second of all, they'll tell you if they feel like it, or they just keep it all bottled up. Or maybe you're someone that they don't want to talk about it too. So a lot of people have a lot of things on their minds, and then the outcome is either going to be good or bad. Yeah. Or try not to think you have anything negative on towards you, and then you won't have to like think about those type of things. Or if a lot of people like to nitpick at people, or do things to people because they're going through a bad part of their life, so they got to take the frustration out on somebody, and that's just the way of life. Some people would rather do that, or you know it's like me. About an hour ago I was upset because the Celtics lost, and I'm not going to be like, oh, destroyed, and then not come live, or go in my bed and cry or something like that. I don't give a fuck, like, whatever. Like, I can't control what goes on. I'm like the type of person that I'm not going to let certain things ruin my day or ruin my life. I can't control what people do, or if a team loses, or I'm passionate about something and it don't go right. That's just a part of life. But people like are weird, man. They just find ways to be negative, or they find ways to adjust to negativity all the time. I don't know why, but I can't click on this thing and put my link in here. It doesn't make any sense. I can't even click on anything. This is fucking nuts. Like, why isn't this thing, why can't I click on this? I swear, man. Honestly, not anymore. This fucking thing doesn't even work. See, it opens up the browser. It works on here, but it doesn't work on here on this page. Okay, now it's working. Ah, okay, I got it now. I got it now. There we go. Now it works. I don't know why it took so long to do it, but now it works now. It's fine. I just had to open up another browser and then it worked. Yeah, it's all good. I mean, I don't really, I'm not going to sit here and worry about whether or not my teams win or not. I'm just grateful to watch them play and to like, be a part of it. But like I said, I'm a big sports fan. So when my teams lose, I kind of get upset or frustrated, but it's not going to ruin my life or my day. I could care less. It's not going to ruin me like that. I'll be disappointed. Yeah, of course. I'm more disappointed for the people that actually watch the game and pay thousands of dollars for a ticket. I would have been fucking pissed. I would have never went no more. Especially now because the tickets are a lot more expensive. So people that probably go there are probably like, "What the hell am I here for watching this shit?" So, but it don't bother me like that. I used to be more hardcore, and like be all upset and probably wouldn't even come on here and throw shit. But I'm a big boy now. I'm good. I don't let shit bother me like that. Yeah. Hey Rudy, how you doing? Life goes on. It's all good. Even if it's not sports and it's something to do with like life or family or you know, there's days that we're gonna get frustrated. It's life. Mm. I can't change what people do and what they don't do. All I can do is take care of myself and just do what I gotta do. Fuck 'em. Oh yeah, I know. It's all good. Like you saw the game, Rudy. Yeah. Oh, it's tough when you lose by 1 point. It's tough, but you can't win all the time. That's what I tell people. You can't win all the time. It's impossible. If you do win, you. That's why last year when both my teams won, I celebrated. I bought all the merch. I have it hanging all around me. If I have to take it all down, if they don't win, that's cool. They'll win again one day. It's cool. Like to me, it doesn't like. It's not like it's a huge part of my life because I love it a lot. But like I know sports and I know that I can't like, dwell on it too much and like, sit here and like be devastated over it. I'll be mad. I'm mad, yeah. But I'm not like, I need to break my fucking TV. You know? I don't care. Oh yeah, I know. See, I used to be very like, argumentative and like get into fights, verbal fights over sports and stuff, but I don't really do that no more. It doesn't bother me. And I know the other fans, the Knicks fans will probably, come in here and come to me and talk shit. I have a friend of mine, his name's Mike, he's a Knicks fan. He came in here and he was like, yeah, this and that. If he comes in here tonight and talks shit to me, it's cool. I don't care. Like it don't phase me. I'm not gonna lose like, sleep over it. It don't phase me. Cause really it's not over yet. It's the first one to four. So we're down two. It's not the first time, it won't be the last time. They're going through a rough patch right now. Hopefully things get better. And if it does, then you can say, then I can say, you know what? Hey, it was rough in the beginning, but hey, we won in the end. And if we don't, hey, we're the best team in. It's all good. See, now American football is a lot more crazier fans. So the American football fans, they're a lot more aggressive. They're a lot more like dissing and shit. The basketball fans are pretty bad, but there's way more football fans. Way more. The arenas are triple, quadruple, the size and fans and everything else. So that's a whole different ball game. But when it comes to American football, I can't even talk right now because my team sucks. The Patriots haven't done nothing since Tom left. So I keep quiet about American football. I just talk about the teams that are winning. The other teams, I just look at and be like, okay, I can't croak about them right now. It's all good. Yeah. It's all good. Sports will be sports. Life will be life. You know, we have good days, we have bad days. It ain't a big deal. And the crazy thing about the basketball playoffs right now is all the best teams are losing. That's the craziest thing. If it was just the Celtics, I'd be kind of more pissed. But the best two teams are losing, and then we're losing too. So it's and no home team has won yet. So it's kind of odd and weird and like kind of mind boggling because you just think something's gonna happen and then things change. It's life, and that's why I haven't gone away to see a game in a long time. Because I'm not going away to see no else. Hell no. And another reason is it's just way too expensive. It's so expensive to go watch a playoff game. Then you got to get a hotel, the plane ticket. Then you got to buy food. And Boston right now is not really cheap. It's expensive. And I've heard a lot of people talk shit about Vegas prices right now. Apparently, Vegas has outrageous prices. Everything's going up. And I'm like, you people act like shit weren't expensive before. Or it still is. And it will be anyway. It's going to keep going up. But I don't know why there's so many evil people in the world, man. People just love evil. There's more evil people now, I think, more than anything. Yeah, I'm sure. On TikTok, there was this lady. She's a teacher, and she came on live, and well, she did a video saying that um, the school she teaches at after this, this month, they're gonna let her go. She has to go, and I'm like, and she's like, oh, I got teacher of the year, and now they're gonna let me go. And it's because of Donald Trump and all this bullshit. I'm like, look at this dumb bitch. She's talking about she's losing her job because of him. You know how many people have lost jobs in the other administration and the one before that and the one before that and the one before that? People lose their jobs every day, sweetheart. What fucking you talking about? These people are really, really mental, like. And I'm saying to myself, if you got teacher of the year and you're being let go, right? Say if that's true. Well, then you have a good resume to go to another school and teach there. So what's your problem? Why are you worried so much? You know what I'm saying? You act like you can't get another job. It might be for the best. Like fucking weirdos, man. I don't know what's wrong with these people on these like social media platforms. They just out here looking to pay the victim. And then they're like, oh, this place ain't got no food. This Walmart ain't got nothing. And I'm like, that's because that Walmart's probably closing down. That's why there's nothing in there. Like you think like it's $5 to run a store or something? You go try running it. Maybe there's not enough business in that area, so they're deleting the store and doing something else. Walmart's been around since the Lord knows when. But I try not to listen to those people on those videos because a lot of them are lying like crazy, and a lot of them just talk to hear themselves. But it's crazy how many people on social media are like just whacking stupid and just like doing shit just to do it, like lying like crazy. Hey, LZ, how you doing? Well, I've heard a lot of people talk shit about Vegas and all that. I've had a lot of people talk shit about a lot of places, but Even my friend, she lives in Boston, and she said, Mark, it's getting bad out here. Like, everything's expensive. She says that, the mall that I like to go to, it's like, oh shit now. And it's true because I've had somebody else tell me, like, things are not the same. But it just didn't happen January 1st or January 21st. This shit's been going on. Like, people are just making an excuse to blame somebody. It just pisses me off. Like, I'm like, you people are weird. Oh, remember I told you last time when you came in here, LZ, that something was gonna happen with your brother, if you remember. Sometimes people don't, sometimes people just don't care. We all have siblings that are idiots and assholes and biatches. It's a part of life. That's why I just keep doing what you have to do for your dad. And that's all. It's like me. I take care of my mom and dad. I'll be the first one they call if they need something. And my brother, he's the oldest and he doesn't do anything for my parents. And my oldest sister, all she fucking does is buy my mom a pair of couple pairs of shoes for Mother's Day and says Happy Mother's Day, and that's it. She don't, do anything else. She don't pay for her bills. It's just like that Judas love. That's what I call it. The old Judas. You know Judas? All right. So overall, some general messages here from Spirit is you come up very strongly in the reading. Obviously, like it says, they want you to continue to be understanding, friendly, loving, caring. They want you to be very practical in what you do. Express yourself in a meaningful way. Be very sincere to people who you need to be sincere to, and also are sincere back. Um, your hard work's gonna pay off. Things are gonna be successful for you money wise. Whatever you're putting your efforts into, you'll get results from. If you have to reorganize stuff, it'll go well. Um, like using your ingenuity to do things, growth, progress, all these things are going to be successful. You're probably going to be tired of doing it all, but you'll have like, you'll be able to rest after it's all done because you're going to accomplish things that you need to accomplish from the results of your efforts. So that's going to be good. The only thing I see that's not good is you're going to have obstacles and problems with a man. So that's obviously your brother. Um, Obviously, you're mad at him now, but this too shall pass, and you might be dealing with your dad and stuff like that. Also, what I'm getting here is like you'll have what you need, but you still might not be happy with the situations that you're dealing with, or you might have to like waste some money on something and you might not be happy about it. Um, Sometimes this comes up in a lot of people's cards, like where, you're financially stable, you have enough money, and then all of a sudden, like your fridge needs to get a part, and you have to get a part for it, and then you have to call somebody to come deal with it, or your car like your power windows don't want to go up and you have to get a new power steering pump or power window pump, some bullshit like that. Like something will happen even though you're happy. You're happy with, you're not happy when this happens, but you're prosperous as far as like having the money to deal with it, and having the time to deal with it. Um, Usually I call it prosperity without happiness, you know. So you might not be happy with wasting money or spending money. Well, that's probably what this means here. That's why it's come up. So, you know, I feel the same way sometimes, LZ. And you know what? I know sometimes people don't even want to hear what I'm about to say, but sometimes we're the only hope for certain people, or we're the only hope for our parents, or we're the only hope for, ourselves. And then one day when things are settled in and then go our way, or you can say to yourself, I'm going to erase what I just said, and just because I just say it all the time. Even though you have to do certain things sometimes, and well, yeah, you can think about that, but try not to think of it that way, and try just to understand that what you're doing is for the best of your father, and for your best interest to deal with him, and I know it's difficult because I'm dealing with the same shit with my parents, but all I can say is, by like, my mentality is, I know by helping them, God's gonna help me, and that's all that matters. And He does. He makes sure I'm healthy. He grants my wishes. I always tell Him that I don't want to be sick, and I don't want to be in no hospital, and I don't want to have no diseases, and He grants those wishes for me. And all He wants is return, is for me to be good to my parents and help them out, because they need my help more than anything. So by me helping my parents and helping myself, God takes care of me. So if you look at it that way, then that's all that matters, really. But you have to get your mentality to that state. You have to get your mind to that program where you say, even though I have siblings and you only have one sibling, I have three. And having these three siblings, my youngest sister is the best one, because we do things together to help my parents. But the older ones are worthless. They just do absolutely fucking nothing. And then they'll tell everybody that they do, but they don't. But that all boils down to you just knowing that God's gonna take care of you, because you're actually taking care of your parents. You know. So try to look at it that way. That's my advice. Well, I try not to even acknowledge the fact that my sister, my older sister, and my brother. I try not to even even like remember that they don't do anything, and I just do whatever I can for my parents, because that's all that matters to me. Because what goes around comes around, and God doesn't want you to disrespect your parents and leave them astray and don't care about them because your other siblings don't care. So, and I'm not going to sit here and point fingers at my siblings and be like, oh, I do this and I do that. Because then they're just going to turn around and say, oh, well, you ain't got no kids and you ain't married and you don't know what life is. And then they're going to start saying that shit to me. And then I'm going to end up blowing a gasket on them. But it don't make sense, because giving people reactions is just making you look dumb. Right. I'm talking about like me. That's what they're gonna say to me. See, you probably have, yeah, exactly. Right. So it's kind of a more annoying because you have a more, you have obviously you have a better job than he does, and you have more responsibilities. But that's just it. There's never gonna be. an equivalent sibling situations. We're all different. I have three siblings. There's all four of us, and we're all different. Oh well, there you go. So he might say, it ain't my problem. Sometimes it's harder for a guy to deal with his dad because they don't like to deal with the dad. They're not. A lot of men ain't gonna take care of another man, or even go to another man. But me, I'm different. With my dad, I always take care of him. I always make sure he's okay because my dad, made me, raised me with my mom, and they're still together. I've never seen my dad disrespect my mother and vice versa. So I have no reason to like my dad. He was very strict and he was very annoying. And there was like a 2 year period that I didn't really speak to him like that because I felt like he was trying to ruin my dreams and my desires and my hopes when I was like 19 years old. I wanted to do all these things and he kept holding me back, so I left the house and said fuck him. But hey Maria, how you doing? So we all go through family quarrels and family drama, and sometimes you just gotta do what's best for your parents and fuck everybody else. That's how I've like analyzed my sibling life and my parents and things like that. I just help my parents do what I have to do for myself, and I try not to like um compare my life to theirs or like say I do more and this and that. I just do what I gotta do. I don't even fucking care. You know. If I'm doing what I gotta do, I really don't give a shit about nobody else anymore. I really don't. Because one day when my parents are gone, that's when I'm gonna really tell my siblings how I feel. And I probably won't speak to them no more. And I'll be like, fuck you all. You can go rot in hell for what you did. So I'll have my chance to say it to them and disconnect from them because that's how I feel about them. So, not my problem. They don't give a fuck about me anyway. Maria, you don't need a reading if you saw Walter today. What you need a reading for? You saw Walter today, woohoo. That's all you need to know, see? Drive home, get in your bed, and go to sleep. LZ said, I hope his girlfriend got a good glimpse at how my little brother does for his dad. And she looked at the little community uncomfortable. Yeah, there you go. Dan said he wants to see the hickey first. They still in puppy love stages, Dan. Well, LZ, you know how it goes. It's just that way. It's sad, but some people just don't care. They just don't have a care in the world for their parents, or they don't have a care in the world for themselves. There's some people in here who don't even have a dad anymore and wish they probably did, you know? And here we are, we got a dad, and people don't even care. It's kind of sad. But I honestly thought my dad was gonna go and yeah this year, but he's recovered and he's doing really good. So I'm really happy that he's okay. A lot of people take life for granted and their parents for granted. But you know, I don't really give a shit about what anybody thinks. I just do what I have to do for my parents. That's all. Well, yeah, that too. You know, yeah. Well, that's just it. You know, if you don't want to put up with a lot of bullshit, you gotta set your boundaries and say something, and then walk away. You know, you save it for the day that shit happens. Like me, I just keep it all inside, and then the day when it comes out, they're gonna wish they never knew me because I have a lot of receipts, and they know that. That's why they don't say nothing to me. See, my brother and my older sister, they'll never say nothing to me because they know. They know what time it is. They know that I do everything, and I don't really give a fuck. I do it because I want to. I can say fuck my parents and not deal with them, but I'm not because I know that's not what God wants me to do. That's disrespectful, you know. But I'm not that type of person. But I just do what I gotta do. Like I don't give a fuck about nobody or my siblings. My siblings can kiss my ass, to be honest. All right, Maria, I got your donation. Let me see what your pain in the ass wants now. General for me, took me out. I didn't want to motorcycle be for me, which I put on my desk, and also sometimes a bunch of sexy love. I told him I trust him, and he said, let me too, and also caught him for a long time, also. Well, I'll tell you like I tell everybody, Maria, life ain't gonna be perfect. And I don't know how much more I can express that. There's gonna be days where people at work aggravate you, and there's gonna be days that are gonna be nice and fake. And then there's gonna be days where you and Walter's not gonna be doing good, and there's gonna be days where it's gonna be great. Welcome to the world, you know? I tell people that every day. Welcome to the world. Welcome to the world. If you're innocent, then you have nothing to worry about. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. But remember, if you're innocent, you have nothing to worry about. It's when you're guilty, you gotta cover it up or try to, or at least don't get caught. But if you're guilty, you eventually get yours. So if they're the ones that are guilty, something will happen to them. Yeah, it's because they lost. Because they lost with you, they're gonna try and provoke you. You see what I'm saying? You can't let people provoke you or try to provoke you. You gotta ignore them. Ignoring somebody is the. I saw something on TikTok today. They said ignoring somebody and not reacting to someone, it makes them so mad that they don't even know how to cope with themselves. And it's true. It's very true. I prove that every time. And a lot of people say, I don't know how you can do that, Mark, without going off it. And I said, well, I was taught something a few years ago that silence is better than bullshit. And I live and die by that. Sometimes things are just, you just ignore the person and it makes them so mad that they're like, I want a reaction, I want them to get mad. I want them to be infuriated. I want them to like react to me so they look like the bad person. And I'm gonna play victim. Because that's what the world is about. The world now and the label that people put on people is, let me see if I can turn it around and make you look like the bad one and I'm gonna play the victim. Because right now, you made me look bad, but now I have to figure a way to make you look bad. So I'm going to do dumb shit and make you react to me so that way you look like a bad person. But if you sit there and just laugh and be like, yeah, and I know it's difficult, trust me, it's very difficult. And some people can't handle it. Some people don't know how to deal with it. But you got to keep programming your brain every day to understand that this is the way life is. People are not genuine like that. People are not like really cool with you like that. They don't want to listen. They don't care about your life. If they see that you're happy, they don't want you to be happy. They're wondering why you're happy. They're wondering if you have a good life or not. And if you do, and they find out, they some people just can't handle, you know, people being nice and good and being happy. But in general, right? I still see Walter not feeling himself, with life, with, the problems that he has. But his love for you is still the same. He thinks that you had a very productive day. He's very happy. He felt the joy. He felt fulfilled. He felt happy. He thinks that, in the future, things are going to get better and better, and he feels that you look very beautiful and you're good. And he felt the pleasure, he felt the goodness, he felt that everything was great. But in the back of his mind, he still has issues. He still has issues with the baby mama. The usual shit. I see the baby mama here being petty, trying to act like she's sick, but she's not. Her attempting to find a difference between him and her and the son. I got him, the son, and her. And then at the end, I got that he obviously, the Ace of Cups, loves you and wants to deal with you, and things will be good with you, no problem. But there is conflict between him and her this last couple of days, or in the next coming days. There will be conflict between him, the son, and her. Something going on here because I got all three of them here. But between you and him, like I always say, it's fine. Like you said today, you had everything was fine with you and him. That's not going to change. You guys are good. But Walter has to deal with, you know, the baby mama drama and his son, and he's not going to be happy in the next few days about them. Well, with work, I got these biatches here. There could be three different ladies there that are very excessive. They're very like, they don't have any appreciation for each other or for you. They're gonna try and they've lost their prestige already. See, they've lost their credibility. They've lost what they really are doing there, and that's why they're mad at you, because when they look at you, they see somebody who has a desire to learn, has good ideas, comes to work, respects people and doesn't do anything bad. They see that you're very deeply concentrated on your work and you apply your skills to work and you do what you have to do. See, and that's what I keep telling you. As long as you do what you gotta do, then you ain't gotta worry about them. But I see three ladies here, and they're all reversed. The three of cups reversed, and these women are like, you know, they feel like they need more or they want more, but they can't, and they're very excessive, and they have no appreciation for whatever they're doing. And these women also are daydreaming. They imagine things. They're unrealistic people. They're actually people that may appear to be impressive, but they have no substance, no life, no oomph, no nothing. So in the next like week or so, it shows you being okay. Like you're gonna get good news. Your bosses know that you're the one that does the work. You're the one that pays attention. You're the one that does what you have to do. Now these other three biatches, don't worry about them. Let them get themselves in their own predicaments and their own problems. And from what I see in the cards here, it just shows that they already like their boss already knows what they're about. So they don't need you don't need to tell them anything. They already know. And if you saw one of them talking to like union people, that's probably the union coming to them warning them that they need to chill the fuck out or else something's gonna happen. So I see you being okay and them having problems. Like I always tell you, you know? And like I said millions of times, if you're innocent, you ain't gotta worry about nothing. And if you go to work every day and do your job, they can say whatever they want. If you're doing dumb shit, then that's different, right? So this week will be fine with you. I don't get nothing bad. I see things happening to them. See, the good thing is when I read you, nothing bad is happening for you, which is great. It's the people that you're around have issues. And that sounds like my life. I'm usually doing good. I'm fine. I can handle life. It's the people who are around me are the fucking nuisances and pain in the asses and idiots and people that don't want to better their lives. They want to sit there and complain all fucking day about dumb shit, but they don't want to get off their ass and make their life better. And then that doesn't become my problem, it becomes their problem. But they want it to become my problem, but it won't be. Drive safe, Maria. Some people never learn, and some people just love licks. It's still raining outside. LZ, thanks for the super chat. You said, let's get messages about work from now till summer. The snakes at work. I'm gonna try to. All right, let's check. Okay, good. I'm glad you're here, Maria. Yeah, all good. You welcome. No problem. Yeah, all good on your end. I don't see nothing bad happening to you either way, with Walter or with work. I see, them having problems, but not you. So make sure you don't make yourself their problem. That's all. Well, I'll put it to you this way, LZ. The overall outcome when summer comes is you being more optimistic, more satisfied, happier, and you're going to say, the past is the past, the present is the present. I'm going to try not to mix both of them together. You'll feel more hopeful, more inspired, and you'll feel like everything looks better now that you're in the summer vibe when it comes. So the overall energy when it comes to summertime, from now to the summer, from now until then, you're probably going to have some more issues with these people. But the overall result is you being happy when it's all said and done. I feel like when you actually go home for the summer and you don't have to go to work, that's when you're probably going to feel much better because you don't have to see those people. But until then, there's going to be uh some situations where with a woman where this woman is very inconsistent, very dishonest, unreliable, untrustworthy, yada, etc. And you'll probably you'll probably lose your faith in some of the people that that these people are, these snakes, these people. You'll probably lose your faith in them. You'll be surprised at some of their actions and what they're saying, what they're doing, as usual. But whatever they're trying to achieve with you is going to be unrewarding anyway. They're not going to get anything from it. And they're just, idiots are going to be idiots, and they're going to do what they have to do to try and get you to react, to try to get you to mad and stuff. um and it's just them being insecure. What I'm getting is here is they are very insecure, they're very weak, they have no imagination, they use their willpower for evil things, not for good things. And they're not going to be quiet, they're going to keep on trying to get you to react or get you mad. They're looks like these people are all disgraces, as you already know. I'm not telling you nothing new. But to answer the question, they're gonna try to stir the pot until the very end, which I see here. They're gonna do it. They're gonna stir the pot. They're gonna stay, evil and stupid and nasty and dumb. But when you leave there for the summer, you'll probably feel like, thank God I don't have to see these idiots for a while. Cause I get like you'll have bullshit happen from now until then, but when summertime comes, you know, it'll be more smooth sailing. But I still feel like they're gonna try and stir the pot again. Cause stupid is what stupid does. So, and like I tell you every single time, just try to like ignore the whole thing. Don't even like when you see them saying or doing something that you don't like, or you see them, just like smile to yourself and be like, these people trying to get me, but I'm not gonna allow it to happen. I got like a month left of school, and I'm gonna be happy when I leave here and don't have to see these fucking idiots. So you gotta keep telling yourself like not to worry about it, not to even think about it, not to dwell on it. Even though I know all that stuff is hard and it's easier said than done, but I can't stress that enough to you and to everyone that we have to stop even thinking about it, talking about it, acknowledging it. And if you do that, you'll like feel so much better because you don't have it consuming you. You know what I mean? And that's why I see at the very end you're gonna be happy. Right. Nah, it's not gonna work out for them, man. Well, that's good. That's why you're gonna be happy because I got the star card at the very end, and that tells me that your faith in yourself will be better. You'll have more, like you'll be inspired to do more things. You'll be thinking about the past, but dwelling in the present. You'll be very optimistic. Your wish will come through. You'll have good omens. You'll feel like you can be satisfied and happy finally. So that's the good thing, is the last card here is the star card, which tells me despite all this bullshit, you'll be happy in the end. And that's all that matters. We're gonna go through bullshit every time. It's never gonna be a month or a day that shit don't happen, you know? It can't always be perfect, unfortunately. But we can have it perfect to a place in our minds can be perfect or close to perfect if we don't dwell on those things. And that's what I'm trying to teach everyone every day on here is to stop letting your mind wander into them or to any negativity or any person that you can't stand. And I'm working on it every day. Don't think that I'm saying it and I'm mastering it. I'm not. Because I'm trying my very best not to think about my ex brother in law and to think about all my haters. And I keep getting reminded about them every day because the devil says, no, no, you're not going to overcome that. And God's like, you can do it, Mark. Don't listen to this fucking ass. But it's so hard to do it, but we can do it. I mean, even if we do it for a couple days, you'll feel more empowered and you'll feel so much better because you're not really dealing with them. All right, you too, Maria. Take care. Yeah, exactly. It'll bring peace to you. Yeah. And that's the thing. You can't let that shit bother you. Because if you do, if you let it consume you, not even bother you, if you let it consume you and you keep talking about it or you keep acknowledging it, then the universe is like, see, you're not ready. And that's one of my biggest problems is not is I try to use my brother-in-law, my ex-brother-in-law as examples to you guys online and say, you guys tell me your bullshit with your life and stuff like that. We all talk about the bullshits in our lives. But as long as you can talk about it freely and openly and not let it consume you, then it's okay to a certain point because you're not letting it consume you. You're just giving an example or saying, hey, I know how you feel because I done this, this, and this. I went through this, this, and this, and I'm going through this, this, and this. So, talking about it in a way where it doesn't consume you is fine. But when you let it consume you, that's when you know they're winning. You can't let the negative people win because then you live rent free in their minds, right? That's the thing. That's all right, Tanya. You're here. You're here with the Mark and Mark group. Tell them that you had a rain check. You had to hang out with the crew. That's all. I won't tell nobody. You're meant to be where you're meant to be. You guys have an ice cream, cottage cheese, and strawberries. Damn. Well, I had apple crumble tarts. Not apple crumble pie, but apple crumble tarts. They were very good. I love that. It's a Portuguese bakery. They come make two little tarts in a package, and the Portuguese bakery here makes it. It was pretty good. It was nice and fresh. It was so nice. It was probably the best ones I've had yet. That was my dessert while I was watching the game. Bah humbug. I haven't heard that in a while. Bah humbug. Apparently it's supposed to rain again tomorrow here. It was very windy, but now the wind's calmed down. I had to put on my AC actually. I just put my AC on before I came on here because it was so humid. Again, the past 3 nights I had to put it on because it was just too humid in here. I hate humidity. Cool. At least the Red Sox won yesterday. That's good. I mean, today. That's good. At least one of my teams won today. That's good. I had to check that. Your sister-in-law are gonna put ours in next week. AC units. Oh yeah, the sister-in-law's husband. Oh, okay, cool. What type? What the name brand of the actual AC units, Dan? By any chance? I wonder what like brand name you guys are using. My oldest my only brother-in-law I have now is my oldest brother-in-law. He's a jackass. He's 60 years old, and he does air conditioning for a living. He works for a big air conditioning company here, and he's not very good at installing it, but whatever. He's pissed off at me because this house, when we first came here, we got him to put in some ACs and fix the ones that were here. And then the company he works for never had parts, and then he would come around here and fix something, and it'll be fucked up again. Like he's not very good at what he does even. And I tried telling people, and my sister and my other brother, I told him, I said, look, we need to get my friend's company to come down here, and they need to put in all these other units, and bang, we haven't had no air conditioning problems since. And I told my sister, I said, I told you so. I said, that guy's an idiot. He don't know what he's doing. You know, many people have told me that that guy is a joke and he doesn't know what he's doing. He's 60 years old and he still don't know shit about air conditions. He thinks he knows. He's one of those guys that will talk a good game but don't know how to hook shit up properly and will fuck shit up and do half-ass shit because he don't care. So ever since I got my friend to come here with his company, we haven't had no issues at all. Oh, well, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, generic Walmart ones. Okay. The air conditioners that I have in this house are Gree, Gree. That's the name brand, and they're like a huge company right now. And my friend owns electrical. I mean, my friend owns the air conditioning company rights here in Bermuda for Gree air conditioners, and they're amazing. I've never heard anybody talk shit about them. And everywhere I look, I see him all over the place. He's very busy. He started on his own, and his company is huge now. I'm very proud of him. He's my age, and I've given him a lot of work and recommended him to a lot of people. So he's very happy. When he sees me, he always gives me a hug and dabs me up and always asks me how I'm doing. And if I ever need him, he'll send a guy right away if I ever need something. But those air conditioners are probably the most reliable air conditioners I've ever seen. Cause I've seen some shitty ones. My dad at his house, he's got a Sanyo and a Carrier one, right? Um, and both of them are trash. They're both messed up. And my brother-in-law still hasn't gone down there to fix any of them or replace any of them. He don't care. And we're getting closer to summertime, and my parents need those ACs working, and they still don't work. And I know my parents are going to be crying about that soon. That's why I think I'm gonna tell them they better call his dumb ass and get him to come down there and fix it, because I ain't doing it. They can do it. They can deal with it. A swamp cooler. Yeah, we have the indoor units, and it has the outdoor unit outside the motor, what is called a split unit or whatever it's called. Yeah, we have that throughout the whole house. We have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. We have 8 air conditioners in this house. 8. We have one in the games room, one in the garage. We have one here in the apartment, one in the bed in my sister's bedroom, one in the living room, one in the kitchen, one in my nephew's room, and one in my other nephew's room. 8 of them. Yeah. And they're all 220s. Yeah, we have one, two, three, 4 panels in this house. I have one panel here. In the garage, there's in the workshop, there's a big 42 circuit panel. In the kitchen, there is a 30 circuit panel, and upstairs is another uh, 24 circuit panel. But we have a 200 amp service running the house, and I have 100 amps coming here. Yeah, 220s. Yeah, it's a 20 amp breaker, double pull 20 amp breaker, and it runs the things. But one of the units have a 30 amp breaker because it's a split unit. It does 2 units at once. And it's a 30 amp double pull breaker. It's all 220. There's no more 110s. My dad has a 110 still in his bedroom, and the other one in the living room is a 220. But here we have all 220s. Yep, and I hooked them all up. I did all new wiring for them. When we did the renovation, I rewired all the AC, all the electrical boxes for the ACs. So when the guys came, all they had to do is hook them up. And we also got the surge protectors for all the ACs. Every AC has a surge protector on the side of the box. And yours truly hooked it all up. The guys that did the AC, they hooked up the surge protector, but I hooked up like the electrical for the box, which is very easy. It's not rocket science. I'm not taking that much credit for that. Yeah, yeah. I've seen a lot of old ass air conditioners and old ass breaker boxes and things like that with the glass that's screwed out. Yeah. Yep. I actually, the year before COVID, which was 2019, I would say it was around summertime 2019. It was like 6 or 8 months before COVID hit. And I did a renovation for my cousin, and she had a condo, a 2 bedroom condo. And the breaker box, it was a 8 circuit breaker box with 8 glass breakers still. And that place was like over 30 years old, and they still had that breaker thing there. And I was like, "Where's the breaker box?" They're like, "Oh, in that little closet thingy." And I opened up the thing. I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me! There's still this shit in here." And they're like, "Yep, nobody ever changed it." And I'm like, 30 years ago, they had better panels, but they probably just said, fuck it. They just left it the way it was. At least she said it was 30, but I think it was older than that. I think that breaker box was older, but they renovated the place but didn't renovate the electrical. But I ended up taking out the breaker box, and within 5 or 6 hours, I had a new panel installed. The wiring went to it. I had all new breakers. I put a 24 circuit panel in there, and I ended up using 16 circuits, and it still had like 8 circuits left. And I actually pulled like a draw wire to the pipe in the laundry room. So if she ever wanted like to put a dryer in there and a washer, I put a big ass like inch pipe in there so you could run the wires way over to it and left room in the panel. And I never heard from my cousin ever again. I ain't even seen her. But I guess she doesn't need anything. All the electric was probably working because I actually saw her son-in-law and he spoke to me and I said, "All's good with the house." He goes, "Yeah, man, all's good." I was like, "Okay." That was 6 years ago. They ain't called me and told me it ain't no problem, so it's all good. Okay, cool, yeah. Well, in this house, there's a plastic panel. We have a square D plastic panel. We have three plastic panels in here. The breakers are not metal and they're not like, well, the all the breakers are hard plastic, but the actual panel is metal. But this panel is actually metal. I've never seen these in my life. But this house is 31 years old. And back then they had these plastic square D, it's called square D company panels. And there's a different name for them. And all the breakers are plastic. There's only metal running through the actual lugs and going to the actual so it makes the metal connection for the electricity. But the actual panel itself is all plastic, hard plastic. There's no metal, so the panel's never gonna rust. And that they've been here for 31 years and there's no rust because the can't plastic don't rust. And I have all new breakers that the guy left. So if ever a breaker already like messed up, so I changed it, and then I needed a single 30 amp. So these breakers you can take them apart. So I can use like if there's a double amp break, a double pull breaker, I can separate it and use half the breaker because the what do you call it? The instant water heater that I put in my apartment and my sister's apartment, it was a single pull 30 amp, a single pull 30, not a double. So it was a 110 30, and I had to run like a 10 gauge wire to it. And if I would have known that, I would have never got those damn things. But I got them, and I said, "Yeah, this should be fine." Not thinking that I had a single 30. So I ended up taking the double pull one apart with two screws, and I ended up using the two single pulls from my apartment and for my sister's, and they're still there 10 years later because we did the renovation in 2014, like the indoor renovation. I redid my sister's kitchen and mine, and we put instant water heaters underneath the sink to give it that extra, hot water and stuff. So in electrical, you can always get around things and do things to get better. So that's what I did. I'm gonna heading out. I'm gonna need to get in my bed. You said I got a question. There was a bird came in my room facing outside. It did not move when it came in. It didn't fly. What's the meaning of that? How they pour? When you get like a bird come in your room like that. Good night, Tanya. When you get a bird come in your room like that, that's like spirit. coming in your room, because birds signify spirit, you know? It's like a messenger. So that bird probably came in there to say, hey, what's up? And it probably was running away. It probably was running away from another bird trying to get away. Probably was being attacked. So it probably came in, but it also probably was a sign from spirit to say, hey, I'm here, you know? But most likely it's probably running away from another bird. When birds are at risk or they feel threatened, they go indoors so they can, get away from what's outdoors. And that's why when you probably scared it to go outside, it didn't fly. It was like, I ain't going out there. Fuck that shit. Hell no. But the meaning of it, I would say it's spirit just coming in there to say hello or to say like, hey, I'm here. You know. Yeah. Did it eventually go out on his own? Which it probably would do. It'll eventually go out on his own. That's what usually will happen. It'll like say, okay, yeah, it's time now. Yeah, birds do that shit sometimes. Birds be whack as fucks. I can't stand birds sometimes. They aggravate me. Birds annoy me. They make too much damn noise and they shit all over the place. He said I scream, but their eyes are big. Never said we took a book and threw it and it went on the ground. Oh, so you man try to kill the damn bird? You're fucked up. So you went and killed the damn bird? It was just wired. Yeah, it probably hit something on its way in, or it's probably very scared. It might have got shocked. It might have got electrocuted or something between like a wire or something. That could be it too. Oh, you tried to help it fly. Uh. Sounds like a Stephen King movie. Oh shit. Starring Rudy. Rudy and the Bird, Part 1. I'm just trying to help you, Birdie. Here, I'll throw a book at your ass. Ah, there's a book coming. Oh, okay, fuck it, I don't care. I'll blink to that. I know it's okay. Oh, good lord, what am I gonna do with you? Poor Birdie. It just wrote. Oh well, poor bird. All right, guys, I need to get out of here. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I need to go sleep. I'm over here yawning, tired as fuck. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta leave it alone. Maybe he'll go out on his own, but most likely he was probably scared shitless. He was probably very scared for his life. Poor thing. I would have picked him up and pat him and said, "You all right, buddy?" I see birds all the time. Actually, when I came home today from getting my nephew, a red bird, a red cardinal bird came right across my car like that, like that, like real quick. And I was like, "Oh boy!" It's like, there you go. There's spirit. I haven't seen a red bird in a while, and it flew right in front of my car, like literally, like 2 feet away. And I was like, "Yeah, that's a good thing." Yeah. All right, Rudy. Good night, sweetheart. Take care. Dan, bro. Good seeing you. Enjoy the rest of your night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. It looks like it's gonna be raining tomorrow again, so I might be on here tomorrow. I'll be on here at some point in time. Alrighty. I'll see you guys tomorrow.